Man, I love the music in this game. I mean, woof. So welcome back to Final Fantasy, all the Final Fantasies, starting with the first one, playing it on Game Boy Advance. I honestly don't even think you have to come up here. There's like a witch up here, you kind of make your way to her. I don't know if she gives you anything. I know she tells you she's missing her eye. I don't even think you have to go up here, but for some reason I always do. Just wasting my time. What I'll probably end up doing, which I did last time, is I'll end up wandering all the way up here, then I'll have to wander all the way back to the town. I mean, you kind of gotta make some of like journey, because you gotta level your character to those anyways. Oh, here's that big ass purple ogre. I just recently ordered some Final Fantasy pins, like you know, like the wearable pins, like metal pins, pushback pins. And I got a white mage and black mage, and they sell an ogre, like this ogre right here. I just got the white mage and the black mage in the mail, and I didn't think the ogre was gonna be cool, but the white mage and the black mage look so awesome that I'm now going to go back on eBay and get me this ogre, because the pins are legit looking. And that's the only 3 they sell. I wish they had the whole damn, you know, whole damn thing. Let's see. I had to stop my brain for a second so I could remember to cure my guys up. I played this a few days ago, trying to figure out if I was gonna, you know, play this version or not. So I played the beginning, and this ogre fucking took out my thief right at the beginning of the game. It's kind of annoying to have to deal with. Did I lose my magic? Or did I use it on a different person? I used it on somebody else. Alright. Yeah. I always hit an ogre on up here. I don't think you can make it up there without hitting an ogre. Let's fucking get some heals. Heals! One of the memorable things I remember from playing this game back in the day is just spending an obscene amount of time using the menu screen to heal your guys with potions over and over again. And then like when you're buying potions in the storage, in the original you couldn't like yeah, whole cutscene. You couldn't buy more than one, so you had to sit there and like hit the button over and over again to buy up all like 99 potions. So you could have like enough, you know, potions to get through dungeons. Alright, so I don't know if they changed it or if I'm just dumb. But back in the day, when she was talking about her crystal, I always thought it was like a crystal ball, not her actual eyeball. Like a crystal ball, like a witch would look into. But apparently she has a crystal eye that's been stolen from her. And now she can't see at all, which seems weird. It's very weird. These little broomstick guys tell you how to do, to look at your map, which is, it was basically like a cheat code back in the day. No potions or anything. That's funny that they basically... Oh, here we go. I was like, I know there's something here. Basically, in order to get the world map up, because there wasn't a ton of buttons back then. In order to get the world map up, you have to know what the weird special button press is. I think it's this. Bring up the world map. As you can see, I started down here. And that's this shrine. That's where I'm at now. And I'm heading towards the red dot to the right, I believe. Which is where I'm going to learn how to get steal a ship from some pirates. It's going to be an ogre again. I knew it. Pretty sure you can't get up here without hitting an ogre. Oh, fire this guy. Fire. Donald Trump his ass. This is like the same battle music in like every Final Fantasy. Alright. Another thing I like about the red mage over the black mage is when you're kind of just grinding up, you don't want to waste all your magic spells. He's still got a sword to use, so it gives you a little bit more damage on your kind of basic attacking. Instead of having to constantly pick some magic. Which reminds me, I need to switch over to I need to switch over to cursor save. There it is. This will keep, when I like pick a magic spell to use, it'll keep it, so I'll keep using it. Or it'll keep it in the same spot, so I don't have to keep going back to it when I'm using it. Another quality of life thing there. I love these little goblins. They're basically the sprite they use for Final Fantasy 2, or it's Final Fantasy 4, but it was called Final Fantasy 2 for the Super Nintendo. There was a way to actually try, like, it took a lot of effort, but you could get it where you could summon goblins with the summoner in Final Fantasy 2. So, when I found out about that, I kind of, like, something in my brain clicked over, and I just thought they were the coolest thing ever. Before that, they're just a random enemy. But, like, it was like, oh, you can summon those? It's like, that's cool. Even though they're absolutely worthless. They're trash. They don't do any damage for you. But I don't know. They definitely give me a nostalgic feeling to see them on the screen. Their little horns, little daggers. And goblins. To me, they're like the slime of Final Fantasy. And if you don't understand what slime is like the #1 enemy for another series called Dragon, where you're like cute little fucking blobs of goo that you gotta kill. Let's get a fucking in. That's the only reason I'm here. I like how your guys like split up and then go into their own beds. Boop. It's a cool little Final Fantasy thing I like. Ah, man. I was really hoping to get to the pirate town before this episode's up. That was my basic goal. I guess these episodes are going to be longer. I'll probably be able to get it done before I kill the episode anyways. And then I might be on Twitch for nobody to watch. It's like, it's sad, like, I know I might get like 8, 10 viewers on this video, maybe, I don't know. This poor video of just me talking. But then I'm gonna go over to Twitch and there'll be like nobody watching ever. But it feels weird if I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna play all these games, because the goal is to play all of them. Or at least play every Final Fantasy until I work out my midlife crisis. Which I guess I could explain that later. I want to be, I don't want to record them and put them all on YouTube, because that'd be hours and hours of really boring footage, especially when I run out of shit to talk about and I'm just laying around playing the game. But so I figured I'll put the videos on Twitch. This little swamp down here will fuck you up if you walk down there. Unicorns! Holy shit! I don't even remember these. It's a crazy horse. That's a terrible bar to go at. Don't want to be there. Man, I did a lot of damage. That motherfucker's still alive. Final Fantasy has, well, at least this one has like a really specific, like, enemies are based on what tile you step on. So like, I just hit basically the area where the enemies get a little bit stronger. There's some areas in the game where you can abuse that to get stronger enemies than you should have in order to level up. It also means you can accidentally wander into a fucking swamp and get hit by a really hard fucking enemy. Like, could wipe your ass right away. Of course, this is the easier version of the Final Fantasy, plus I can save everywhere, so as long as you save when you're in a safer part of the game, you should be fine. You won't, like, have, like, all your progress suddenly ruined. Swamp! Gygus worms. That's definitely like a Final Fantasy VI type thing right there. I like the background. This particular background definitely looked better on a Game Boy Advance than it does on a big screen. That's like a Monet painting. Like, it's like pixelized, but you can tell it's supposed to be kind of like a dot art. Like, and if you zoom this way out, in fact, just looking over on the computer screen, it looks a lot better on a smaller screen. You blow this up to a giant image, it's fucking ugly as sin. Oh, fuck. Dee-dee-dee-dee. I think a lot of my affection for doing landscape art, kind of like the paintings I do, comes from video games like this, which are basically, you know, action on landscape paintings. Especially games like Lunar, which have like amazing backgrounds. But this one focuses on the ground a lot, but a lot of the Final Fantasies you get a little bit more sky, you get some really cool stuff in the background. And the Lunar games really had crazy stuff in the backgrounds. Just the really great looking art. But, you know, static images that you're sitting on. Wow, this is about as boring as you can get right here. It's just like grass. Grass and clouds. Leveling up. This town you get to has been taken over by pirates. It actually has one of the first kind of hard moments in the game where when you get here originally on like a Nintendo version, people had a hard time, like they keep attacking the same pirate, and then the pirate would die, then the rest of their attacks wouldn't do anything. So they had to teach people to spread their attacks out in order for the battle not to get harder than it needed to get, basically. The battle is already kind of hard for people. It's just a huge group of pirates you gotta kill. But not understanding the game mechanics of your people don't keep attacking new people when they die in the original made it kind of hard. On this version, clearly that's not a problem. But it's kind of funny that it's that problem. This town looks a lot bigger from the outside. Look at all the houses. Provoca. They're gonna be like, pirates? Please help us from the pirates. I brought a ninja to help with the pirates. Looting and pillaging. I believe all the shops are like shut down. I know you can stay at the inn, but I don't think you can buy magic or anything when you first get here. I might be wrong. So I spent my entire day yesterday, my whole day off I spent in doctors and hospitals trying to get my mom better, because my mom is not doing good. So when I say like midlife crisis stuff, that's one of the things I'm dealing with. Man, I wanted to just pass out. I was so tired. I had been up all night, and then I suddenly found myself in a that's kind of cool, a position where I needed to get up and go to the doctor's office with my mom. And then once I got done with that, the doctor suggested we go to the hospital to do some tests that they would do for her there. I think I ran out of money already. So what happened was after I got done being in the doctor's office with her, we had to go to the hospital, and that took just the rest of the day. So I ended up being up for 24 hours. So I'm just basically just now getting around to getting up and stuff after that ordeal. Kind of wish that all would go away. You know, it's just like get better. And she dealt with pretty invasive breast cancer a few years ago. Kind of like put a lot of things in perspective, you know. Just anytime you're dealing with stuff like that, kind of puts, you know, it puts mortality in your eyes, you know, lets you know that's a thing. Let's see, pirates. There they are, little scallywags. So the thing is with that is there was a problem, you know, cancer. We knew it was a problem and kind of dealt with it. Like that seemed like to be a cakewalk compared to what we're dealing with now. Whereas she has this thing that she's been struggling with, can't fucking figure out what it is. She's been dealing with it since September. It's currently, you know, mid-January. And I just, you know, can't even fucking, it's not, you can't even do anything about it because doctors can't figure out what it is or, you know, what it is. Wake up every morning in pain. It fucking sucks. It's stressful. Alright, Wall of Pirates. Now, alright, in the original, what happens is people would come in here and they'd attack all the same pirate. Because your idea is, you know, kill them all. You know, attack them. But, usually when you do that, you kill the first pirate and then the rest of your guys don't do any damage to anybody. And now you have 8 pirates attacking you. But thankfully, this Final Fantasy, once you kill one pirate, your guys will keep moving on to the next. So this battle won't be nearly as hard as it used to be. It used to be like a strategic stopping point in the game. Now it's just like, meh. Kill all these guys, no problem. So yeah, dealing with my mom is that's just like tip of the iceberg. I recently moved into my grandfather's house, which seems both like a blessing and a curse. It's definitely a better living situation, but the problem is I don't have any guarantees in life. I mean, there's no guarantees in life, but at least when I was living in an apartment, I was paying for myself. Like, I knew I could afford it. I knew where I was going to live. I knew stuff couldn't be swept out from under me at any time. My grandfather's really fucking old. He could go tomorrow and it wouldn't be a surprise, you know what I mean? Yes, ship. And then I don't know what's going to happen with the house. Like, I don't know if I'm getting it. I don't know if my mom's getting it. I don't know if I'm going to have to move out, right? You know, like, almost immediately. So, like, my living situation now is improved, but it's also become, like, a risk. So that's stressful. Because, you know, you move into a place, you make it your own, at any moment it could just be swept out from under you. It's rough. You know, I just want to kind of live here. I want to make it a few years so that I at least have money saved up. Be better off by the time I'm done. But dealing with that and dealing with quite possibly, you know, possible worst case scenarios with my mom at the same time, it's just really, really rough. Just try to figure out, you know, the worst case scenarios for where things could go in the next few years are terrifying. Alright, ship. One of the weird things about the ship is, unlike the airship you get later in the game, when you got in the ship, you still get attacked by people. Which makes, it makes it where you can travel over water, which is nice, but it doesn't protect you from anything. You still gotta deal with random battles. I want to get myself to the elf town via the boat, this is actually the first place where the world map really comes in handy, because it's like, fuck, where do I need to go? There's you're stuck in this little inlet. I guess I can show it to you. Look at this. You're stuck in this little area here. Part of the things I told about earlier with Final Fantasy and kind of like how it breaks everything down in nice little chunks, makes things easy to understand, and then it opens up. It makes it a compelling game to keep playing, because you start, you know, in this little tiny area, then you get the ship, and now you can travel around the inside of this map, and then you break out of that eventually, and then eventually you can fly, and eventually you can land in certain areas. So the game has these moments of like the rewarding moments where it's like, yes, now I can do this. For now, all I can really do is, I got this little boat, I can drive around in this little middle area until I figure out this part and get myself out of that. And then I'll move on to like other stuff I gotta do later. Let's see here. So just gotta go down here. This is pretty much still like the easier part of the game where you're just cruising along. It doesn't get grindy yet. Yeah, these old fucking RPGs, man. They love to put you in battles over and over until you just hate them. Ah, see, I already went the wrong way. Map. Down. Oh yeah, it's down here, surrounded by the trees. I always like the way this town looked with the ring of trees around it. Well, it's like a little circle of forest that they built their castle in the middle. Come on, hammer. Do more damage. I didn't, forgot to buy all this stuff. Well, I guess I didn't really forget. I left stuff in that last town I could have bought. That's what I need to do here. I need to save. This is really the first part of the game where you wander around the forest and grind a lot. Ooh, the town of elves. I just don't know what we can do. Your prince is like... I think the prince is asleep. Like he's been poisoned or something by some person in a dark, deep cave somewhere. It's like the reverse Sleeping Beauty, except it's, you know, the prince. It would have been really cheesy and noticeable if they made it a sleeping princess when you got here. But nope, sleeping prince. See, I need one of these. I think. Staffed iron ring. What the hell? Nobody even knows what that is. Alright. What do we got here? Let's see if magic. Back in the day, they would be like Fire 1, Fire 2. They didn't think we were smart enough to understand like their naming conventions. Basically, Fire is Fire 2, and then it's like Fire Ga is Fire 3. I can't afford shit. I can't even remember which one I need to get for this boss. I'm pretty sure I need a pretty good spell to kill him. When your characters die, you have to come here and revive them in this chapel. I probably need to get cure from this one too. Ooh, hey, armor. Damn, I can't afford jack. Ooh, helmet. Guess I get... What I got? One more. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I bought one too many. Alright. I keep hitting the wrong button to go to the inventory if you're wondering why I stand here and I'm all confused. It's like, what is he doing? He's not even playing the game. Alright. So what I'm going to do is go ahead to Twitch now, I guess. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube. I'll check back in on YouTube later when I'm later in the game, I guess. Bye.